Hey guys, JP here. In this video we're going to be comparing the Panasonic G7 with the iPhone 7 Plus. We're going to be taking a look to see if spending $800 on a dedicated camera is better or the same quality as the built-in camera that comes with the iPhone 7. To compare the two cameras, we're going to be comparing the pictures to pictures, and then we're going to be comparing the movies to movies. And then we're going to be doing this in three different scenarios. We're going to be doing one scenario outside in full light during the day, and then we're going to be doing two scenarios inside. One with all the lights on with as much light as possible, and then one with all the lights off except for one little light off into the corner to see how well it does in the dark. Let's take a look at the specs on the Panasonic G7. It comes with a Lumix G Vario 1442mm f-stop 3.5 to 5.62 mega OIS lens. It's got a 16 megapixel live MOS sensor that's underneath the lens. It's right here. And then it's capable of ISO 200 to 25600, expandable to 100. It's got a 3-inch LCD touch monitor. It's also an OLED screen. This also captures 4K video. And then it's also capable of Wi-Fi, so you can share images through Wi-Fi instead of having to connect it with USB. And then it also accepts SD-sized cards, just right here where the battery is, just right here. Alright, let's talk about the iPhone 7 specs. So on the back it's got dual 12 megapixel sensors. It's got a 28/56mm equivalent focal length. It's got an f-stop 1.8/2.8 aperture. It's got on-sensor phase detection. It's got a quad LED flash, and it can capture raw DNG footage with manual control if you use third-party apps. And then it can capture 4K video at 30 frames a second. Alright, now that we've taken a look at the specs for both cameras, let's go ahead and dive into the footage and pictures to see what both cameras are capable of. After reviewing the photos from both cameras, starting with the outside footage, it seems to me that the iPhone won. The picture is clearer, it's got better colors and more detail than the G7 camera that seems a little darker and a little less clear than the iPhone picture. Moving to the inside with lots of light, it's still the same situation where the iPhone picture seems more crisp and it seems like it took a clearer picture than the G7 did. But oddly enough, when we turn off the lights, it looks like the G7 takes a better picture than the iPhone did, and it's the exact opposite there. The G7 seems to have more detail and it seems to be more clear on what you're actually looking at, whereas the iPhone seems a little bit more muddy and not as good looking as the G7. Alright, now that we've looked at the photos, let's go ahead and see what each camera can do with its footage. Alright, when we look at what the G7 gave us versus the iPhone with the outdoor footage, the iPhone picture is really crisp and really clear and really nice to look at when it's going across the steelbook and then up into the grass. It looks really nice. And then when we switch to the G7, everything just gets a heck of a lot better. It's a lot crisper, it's a lot clearer, and there's just so much more detail in that picture. Now when we transition to the inside with lots of light, the two videos switch roles. The G7 isn't very nice to look at, but the iPhone actually is, which is kind of strange to me. But I'm going to say that the iPhone won that one, but when we switch back to low light in this situation, the G7 becomes the winner again. It has a harder time focusing, but when it does focus, it's just crisper and cleaner and better to look at than the iPhone is. The iPhone, when we look at that, it's smoother when we're panning across the steelbook, and then it's got a really nice picture and it's really crisp, and we never lose that focus, but even though it's in focus all the time, it's not as nice as the focus on the G7. But this could just be user error, so if I get a bit better at the G7, it's probably going to be better than the iPhone in every single way. We've looked at both the iPhone 7 Plus and the Panasonic G7. Now I wanted to let you know, at the first of this video I was recording everything on the iPhone up until the point that I was talking about the iPhone. Once I got to the iPhone, I switched to the G7. Now the reason that I did this is I wanted to show off both the audio and visual capabilities of both cameras. I hope this has helped. Please let me know what you think about both cameras in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like. And if you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.